So is astrophotography with a phone actually going to work well? You've probably seen some pretty amazing images of the Milky Way and the moon coming out with an iPhone. But how exactly does that compare to a DSLR? The main problem with an iPhone, or even an Android, is that the functionality is very limited in terms of astrophotography. Like the customization ability, or is that a word? I don't know. But I'm saying basically how customizable the phone is not even close to how customizable a DSLR is settings-wise. So you're not going to get as much of a well-rounded result with a phone as you would like a DSLR, because with DSLRs you're going to get less noise probably. You're probably going to get less artifacts because they're actually meant for photography, whereas phones are really just meant for calling people. All in all to say though, phones are not really meant for photography. In some ways Apple does make their phones really good for photography, like 48 megapixel camera on the new iPhone 14. But that is not going to work well if you don't also have very customizable settings. So, well, mainly for astrophotography, it won't work well. When I used to do astrophotography with my phone before I got a DSLR, it actually worked okay. I mean, you could take pictures of the moon and stuff through your telescope. Yes, it would still require a telescope. Holy crap, there's a lot of wind. So yes, you can take good photos with your phone. It's just you need to have your telescope more adjusted if you're going to be using your phone. Like the right Barlow on there, the right aperture, everything needs to be perfectly adjusted on your telescope if you can't adjust those kind of settings on your phone. Now I know Androids do have that customization ability. Well, I don't think that's a word. They do have the customizability. I think that's the word. Customizability. Androids do have the customizability to actually, well, from what I know, they can customize the exposure, the ISO, stuff like that. They can adjust gain. They are customizable. On the other hand, Apple iPhones, I haven't seen that kind of customizability. I think there is a pro mode, but I have not found how to use that on iPhone, even though I am an iPhone user. I used to be an Android user, so I know more about Android. But what if you don't have a telescope? What if you're just trying to take a wide field image of the Milky Way? That might work well, but you still need to figure out a way to stack the frames. In order to stack the frames, well, you probably do need a tripod for your phone at least. Because if you don't have a tripod for your phone, you are not going to be able to get those stacked frames, because how are you also going to keep your phone still? You can't just do this. I'm shaking, and then boom, the image comes out all like smeary and trailed. That sucks. You just can't do that because, you know, it's not going to work well. The images aren't going to come out great. So what I would recommend doing is definitely getting a tripod for your phone. And yeah, and making sure you adjust the right settings for your phone if this phone has those customizability settings. Still don't think that's a word. So the final question, are phones actually worth it for astrophotography? And the answer is, yeah, if you have them. And if you have a DSLR, well, I definitely recommend using a DSLR. Everybody pretty much has a phone. But I'm saying if you have a DSLR, I'd much rather you use that. Now, if you want to see my recommended gear to actually start photography in the astrophotography realm, then the video is linked right here. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Until next time, clear skies. That was terrible. Clear skies.